Hey, 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 welcome to AAA Wednesday, which is my weekly Q&A session where I'm responding to questions you've left in the comments about the publishing industry and writing a better book. It's also a time for me to just say thank you to my amazing community here. We recently surpassed 30,000 subscribers, which is just crazy for me to think about. I truly and deeply appreciate each and every one of you. I also want to point out we have a special guest star today. Luca is in the background there for anyone who was wondering where he was. A couple pieces of housekeeping before we get into the excellent questions today. Number one, if you're watching and haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? I promise you won't regret it. Every week, in addition to these Q&A sessions, I do a deep dive either into a topic related to the publishing industry or a craft topic, especially geared toward novelists. And number two, if you could just go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, it really does help out my channel, so I really appreciate it. Okay, let's dive into the first question today. Are agents first and foremost searching for a good book or a good author? So agents really are looking for both. An author who is strong on a technical prose level, and also an author who has storytelling abilities and is able to captivate readers. If you query an agent and the pitch of your book sounds really enticing and solid, but then they get to your sample pages and the quality of your writing isn't holding up, they're unlikely going to want to work with you. They'll likely feel like you have room to develop in your craft a bit more before seeking publication. But the good news is that there are tons of resources to help you develop in your craft. So it's definitely not a door that is going to be shut forever. Now, on the flip side, say that you query a literary agent and your writing is so strong, but the story just isn't holding up. Again, it's unlikely that the agent is going to want to move forward with you. In that case, you might get a response from the agent saying something like, they really enjoyed your writing, but the story just didn't quite gel for them, and they might invite you to submit your next book to them. Because again, presumably they really like your style of writing, but that particular story just didn't seem like it was going to engage or resonate with them. That's actually a great rejection to get from a literary agent because it does open up the door, if you write something else down the line, for you to reach out to them and they will likely consider it seriously. So bottom line, to secure a literary agent, you really have to be both a strong writer on a technical level and a strong storyteller. Before we get into the next question, I wanted to let you know about a free resource I have specially for my YouTube community. It's called my Story Self-Assessment Worksheet, and it's a way to look at your current work in progress from a different perspective and identify ways that you can improve it on the next draft. Downloading that resource is going to sign you up for my newsletter where I interview publishing industry insiders and successfully published authors. I'm getting a lot of feedback that you all are really enjoying the newsletter, so I'm really excited to keep going with it. And if you want to go straight to the newsletter, the link is also in the description. Here's the next question. If my novel has a big twist in the middle, we're talking flip the reader's whole understanding of the book to that point big, should I avoid spoiling it in my query or should I highlight it as a differentiator for my novel? In the query letter itself, you don't want to give away any major spoilers, so I would hold back from giving away the plot twist in the blurb you include in the query itself. That said, if the agent that you are reaching out to requests a synopsis document separate from the query letter, then you will want to reveal every development of the plot beat by beat by beat. So you will give away all spoilers in the synopsis document. I have more resources on differentiating between the blurb and the synopsis, so I'll link those videos in the description. I would also recommend considering mentioning the twist in the comparable titles section of your query letter. That way, you indicate to the agent that your book has a huge twist, but you don't give away what it is. Some language you could use would be like X book, and then you can put in one of the comps you are using that also has a big plot twist. My novel features a major plot twist, yada, yada, yada. So that way the agent understands there's a huge plot twist in the book, but you're not giving it all away in the query letter upfront. You do want to give the agent the option to experience that twist for themselves as they read the manuscript. Here's the next question. I found a group of literary agents who offer pitches over Zoom meetings. I am considering asking to do a pitch, but was curious what's the best way to prepare for a pitch to an agent over Zoom. My advice would be the same whether you are pitching an agent over Zoom or in an in-person meeting or even on a phone meeting. You essentially want to have prepared all of the material that you would put in your query letter. So that includes the basic information about your book, genre, word count, title, as well as your blurb about your book, which is the short description that you include in the query letter, as well as comparable titles and a few elements of your author bio. These are the core pieces of information that any agent wants to know when they're considering a book for representation. As for how to actually go about saying and presenting this information in the meeting, I would leave some flexibility for the meeting to flow naturally and for you to take cues from the agent. Maybe they will come to the meeting and they'll prompt you asking for all of this information, or maybe they will just kind of wait for you to give them all the information. But as long as you have that information ready to go and prepared and you feel good about it, then you should be in good shape for the pitch meeting. Those are the questions we had time for today. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted one. And if you have a burning question you'd like to ask me, drop it in the comments here and it will be added to my queue for my next session. Before you head out, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if you are enjoying these sessions. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And don't forget your free story self-assessment worksheet and my newsletter link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching and happy writing.